Hey, everybody. Can you pray in English? Is it okay to pray in English if you don't know Hebrew? Let's face it. A lot of people go to synagogue services, they go to shul. It's in Hebrew. They might not be so familiar with Hebrew. It's very foreign. It makes it very difficult. So, can you pray in English? And I got news for you. Even the most seasoned daveners, even people who know lots of Torah and their Hebrew is very good, even those people, the Hebrew sometimes is very difficult. It's very poetic, especially Psalms. Some of it is very, very difficult to understand. And even the most well versed, just like in English, people, you could speak English fluently, but sometimes when you read poetry, it's very difficult to understand and comprehend, even though you're fluent in the language. So, this is something that is very important to look at, and it happens to come up in this week's Daf Yomi. We're dealing with Shavuot, taking oaths. And the Gemara is making the point that when the person is taking an oath, they have to, quite logically, understand what they're saying. And so, therefore, they have to say it in a language that they're familiar with. And so, the Talmud, the Gemara, expands on it and gives us a bit of a laundry list of things that could be said in any language. Elu nemrin b'chol lashon. The following things could be said in any language. It does not have to be Hebrew. So one is vidui ma'aser. When you bring the tithe to the temple, there was a declaration that's actually mentioned in the Torah of what exactly you would say when you would bring this gift to the temple. If your Hebrew wasn't so good, so say it in any language. You don't have to say it in that language that the Torah outlines. Okay, but here's what we want to focus on. The next three. Kriyat Shema, saying the Shema. Tefillah, prayer. Ubirkat HaMazon, and grace after meals. The Gemara explicitly says that when it comes to these three things, and all three are Torah obligations, you could say it in any language you're comfortable with. Shema, say it in any language if you don't know the Hebrew. Tefillah, the prayer service, the essential part of the prayer service is the Shmona Esrei, the silent meditation, the Amidah, the 18 blessings that we say. And finally, Birkat HaMazon, grace after meal. If your Hebrew's not up to par, say it in English. Let's face it, the optimum thing is to say it in Hebrew. Yes, we would prefer that. But barring that, then say it in the English. And it teaches a very, very important lesson here. Judaism, Rav Noach Weinberg, the founder of Aishi, always pounded this point home. Judaism isn't all or nothing. Just because you can't do something in an optimal way, in the perfect way, doesn't mean you shouldn't do it at all. And that's what Judaism is stressing over here. That's what the Torah is stressing. That's what the Gemara is getting at. That if you can't do it in the best way, certainly you should try and do it in the Hebrew. And certain things are relatively easy to do in the Hebrew. The Shema, the definition of the Torah mitzvah Shema, is saying that one line, not necessarily all three paragraphs. The most essential part is that one line. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. You say that, you know what that means. So then you fulfilled it in the Hebrew. The rest of it, say it. If it's difficult, so fine, do it in the English. But again, the point here is that Judaism is not all or nothing. That if you can't do it in the best way possible, do it in the next best way possible. And it's not necessarily anything negative, because once again, the Gemara is stressing that it's preferred you say it in a language that you understand than in Hebrew where you don't understand. It also happens to be in our day and age, there are a lot of things that help and facilitate learning these things. The Art Scroll people put out this interlinear translation of the Siddur, where what they do, take a look at it, but basically what it is they have the Siddur, and under each Hebrew word is the English translation. So you're reading it in the direction of the Hebrew from right to left, but right underneath is the English translation to help you. Because once again, even you see a lot of people in the most orthodox of shuls using these type of siddurim, because again, a lot of the Hebrew is very, very difficult to understand the poetic bits. So do your Shema, do your Shemona Esrei, do your Birkat HaMazon, do your Grace After, do all that stuff. And if you got to do it in English, we're perfectly okay with that. Have a good Shabbat.